Okay, so in this example we're going to try and graph the line 3x plus y equals -5. And we said we have to begin by getting this in slope-intercept form. That means getting y on its own. Okay, if we want to have y on its own, then we need to move that 3x over to the other side. Okay, so the 3x is going to go to the other side. And that's going to give us y is equal to -5, and if you move the 3x across, it becomes -3x. It's changing sides, so we change its sign. And that equation is now in slope-intercept form. Okay, now once we've got it like that, we can go to the calculator, but you must do this piece first. You have to get y on its own first. So let's call up our calculator, and we'll do that here. And what we're going to do is we're going to press y equals here in the top corner of the calculator. So we're going to press y equals. And now if you look at the equation right here, it began with a negative. If an equation begins with a negative, so if the equation of a line begins with a negative, the negative we use is this one down here in parentheses. Okay, so we're going to use that. So that's -5. So the equation was -5 minus 3x. Now, the first minus, we use the one in parentheses, but after that, if there's another minus after that, we use the regular subtraction sign, so -3x. Okay, so we've got y1 equals -5 minus 3x. And then, to graph it, you think probably that you should hit the graph button, and sometimes that will be fine. In fact, most of the time at the start, that'll be fine. But I would rather you use zoom, which is this button here in the middle of the top row, and we want the standard zoom, so it's going to be 6. Now you can do it two ways. You can scroll down to 6, or you can just type 6 on the keypad. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do 6. Okay, and that will draw the graph for you. Okay, and there is your graph. Now let's say you wanted to know some of the points on that. Okay, you wanted to know some of the points that were on that line. Well, there are two things you're going to do. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to set up a table. And to set up the table, we hit this button here in blue. It may be a different color on your keypad, but it's blue on mine. So second. And then where it says window, above window, you've got TBLSET, and that's short for table setup. So this is how you design the table. We hit second first, and then we hit table setup. And we have some numbers here. Yours are probably the same if it's in your calculator. This says the table will start with a value of 0. Delta table means the numbers in the table will all go up by 1. So if we start at 0, then we're going to have a 1, then a 2, then a 3, etc. What's really important right now is that this line here, the independent, has auto and highlighted with a black background. Okay, you want auto to have a black background on it. The bottom line doesn't matter so much. We're never actually going to change that. I doubt if you'll change that at all, but on the independent line, it needs to be on auto. So if it's not, for example, if it's on ask, okay, like it is, if it's on ask, you just scroll down to that line, scroll down to the line, make sure that auto is highlighted, and press enter on auto. Okay, so that's the table designed. The last step is to see the table. So it's second again, and then over here on the graph key, above the graph key is written table. So we've already pressed second, press that key, and that gives us lots of points. Okay, and these points we can write as 0, -5. Oops, we've lost it. 0, -5 was one of the points. Let's call it back. 1, -8. 1, -8. Another point is 2, -11. And 3, -14. Okay, there are loads of points there, but if there aren't enough, you can always scroll backwards and you'll see more points. So -1, -2 is another point. and we'll just do one more. -2, 1. Okay, so you can get a table of points as well as getting the calculator to draw the graph. So zoom 6 will draw the graph. Zoom 6. Okay, so there'll be some problems for you to do similar questions. Okay, thank you.